Hello everyone, so we're going to move forward with our beginner's guide, and next we're going to look at the IELTS examination. So as usual, we're going to answer 6 critical questions about the IELTS examination, starting with what is the IELTS? Okay, so the IELTS is an exam used by universities to test your English language ability, similar to the TOEFL examination. So if you're applying to an international university, you're likely going to have to take this examination. Now the IELTS is kind of unique because they have 2 different types of IELTS. They have the IELTS Academic and the IELTS General. So if you're applying for like any kind of educational program, like a master's program or PhD, MBA, basically if you're applying for higher education, then you're going to have to take the IELTS Academic. The IELTS General is generally for immigration and all that. Okay, so you're gonna have to take the IELTS Academic, and that's what's gonna be used for your visa purposes as well. So it costs approximately $200 to take. The score is valid for 2 years, right? There's 4 sections on the IELTS, and each section is scored out of 9. So your final IELTS score is basically the average of these 4 sections. You can choose to schedule the IELTS whenever you want. So if you want to take the test tomorrow at a test center, you can absolutely do that. Next up, let's answer the question, what does the IELTS test? All right, so like I said, there are 4 sections for the IELTS, right? There's reading, speaking, listening, and writing. So in the reading section, it's pretty straightforward. You're given like a couple passages and you need to answer questions based on those passages, right? In the writing section, there's gonna be 2 writing tasks. The first writing task, they're gonna give you some kind of chart or graph, and then you need to sort of describe that, graph. And in the second writing task, you're basically gonna be given like a topic, and you have to sort of analyze the topic, give your opinion on it, support your opinion with, like proper examples and supporting arguments and all that kind of stuff. In the speaking section, there's essentially 3 tasks. So in one of the tasks, you talk about yourself. In the second task, you talk about a specific topic that's given to you. And in the third task, you sort of analyze like a detailed question, or again, it's similar to that writing task where you have to sort of, express your opinion, give examples and all that, right? So same way, you'll have to talk about a specific topic, express what's your opinion, support your argument with examples, and so on. And finally, in the listening section, you're going to be given a conversation or lecture, and you basically just have to answer questions on that conversation or lecture. So like I said, each section is going to be scored out of 9, and your final IELTS score was going to be out of 9, based on the average of these 4 sections. Before we move on to the next question, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel, because we have new content for graduate program related information and GRE related information pretty much every single week. Okay, so make sure you're subscribed. So the next question is, do you guys need to take the IELTS or not? So if you are applying to an international university in an English-speaking country, you're going to have to prove your English language proficiency, right? For that, you're either going to have to take the IELTS or the TOEFL. So the IELTS is generally used when you're applying to like non-American universities, right? Generally, American universities prefer taking the TOEFL. Some of them only accept the TOEFL. But if you're applying to, any kind of university outside the US, the IELTS is going to be generally more preferred. Now a simple question, when should you take the IELTS, right? So generally you should take the IELTS the same year that you're applying to college, right? So if you're applying for say fall 2025, then the majority of your application process is going to be in 2024. So you should take the IELTS in 2024. Now, what is a good score? All right, so if you guys get like a 7.0 out of 9, that allows you to apply to like some 90-95% of the universities out there. So that's a pretty good target score. If you want a great target score, try getting like a 7.5 or an 8. That'll make sure that you can apply to like all the universities. I believe like I've seen some cutoffs where the cutoff is like 7.5, but I've never seen like an 8.0 cutoff. So if you get like a 7.5, you should be safe. And one more thing that you guys should keep in mind is this section-wise score, right? So you want to make sure that you get at least a 6.0 in every single section of the IELTS, because universities will specify that they need like, a 6.0 in this specific section and so on. Now, how do you start your preparation? So your preparation actually depends on your fluency with the English language, right? So if you are someone who's fluent in English, then this is going to be a pretty straightforward exam for you, right? All you have to do is either pick up the Cambridge book or the Barron's book and then prepare for like 2 or 3 weeks, and you'll be good to go, all right? If you are not fluent in English, then this is going to be a little bit more troublesome. So I recommend that you get the Barron's Super Pack. So it comes with bunch of books, bunch of practice tests, and so on. It is a little bit expensive, but if you're not too confident about the examination, then you probably need all the help that you can get. Now, if you guys are really not fluent in English, you're having trouble speaking, then I recommend that you guys join some English, fluency, language speaking classes so that you can brush up on English, right? Because it's going to be useful not only for the IELTS, but also in the visa interview, and also like, when you're actually studying there, graduating, getting a job and all that, right? So if you're not good at English, it's time to start going to classes and start getting good. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed for more graduate program related content, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.